Hey, howdy there again, folks. Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering of my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler platter video series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. We're over there trying food and drink items. I eat stuff, drink stuff, then I talk about stuff. I let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that you can go over there and consume at your leisure. You know, if you're so inclined, whether you watch the review. I mean, maybe my review doesn't do it for. There are other reviewers. Many of whom are better than me at what I do. I mean, specifically this reviewing thing. I don't know about, their personal lives and such. Though, to be fair, I would say odds are they're probably better at their lives than I am at mine. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm going to try some stuff. I'm going to talk about it while I'm doing some in the truck. If you watch videos, then you know, hey, if I'm in the truck, then I was on a way to a place and I found a thing, and now I'm going to review it. And that's playing. While I'm doing so, got crappy old work shirt on, and, I'm grody because I was at work, and then I stopped off some gas stations, and I found some stuff. Instead of being an adult and going home, going inside and getting all cleaned up and then doing a review, I was like, no. You do it in my driveway while it's raining. That's what I'm doing. What am I trying for y'all today, folks? Boom! Werthers Original, but not just any Werthers Original, folks. Limited edition Harvest Caramels, pumpkin spice, soft caramels, or caramels, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I don't give a shit. So, okay, it's pumpkin spice Werthers Original. I like Werthers Original. They're one of those old-timey candies that, actually still hold up really well, in my opinion. Some of the older ones, man, not so much so, But there's a few that, they're just time-tested. And the great thing about Werthers Original, man, it's simplicity. It's just delicious, hard candy. It's caramel. It's fantastic. Even the shape is friggin' fantastic, man. Just rolls in the mouth nicely. It's solid product. Now this is soft caramel. It's pumpkin spice. I don't know why this is pumpkin spice. Typically you have pumpkin spice around Thanksgiving, Halloween maybe, depending. So either this is a really old bag, or somebody went over there and at Werthers, and they went over there and they messed up and they were like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna, yeah. We'll throw them off guard. That's what we'll do. We'll bring out the pumpkin spice even earlier. Pumpkin spice, man, it's one of those things, very divisive. Very, very divisive. I'm perfectly cool with it. I did a review for some pumpkin spice frosted mini wheats 2 years ago. Go watch that video. I'm perfectly fine with it, but it's like anything. Obviously, you got to use it, mitigate it, how much you got. So it's got a thing on the back a long time ago in small European village, Werther. Is that actually why? No, I didn't know that. Candy maker Gustav Nobel. I like his first name. His last name isn't bad or anything, but Gustav, it's just a cool name. Sounds like a fucking Zaku from Gundam. I think it might even be an actual, a Zaku type. Created his finest candy. He used the best ingredients, real butter, fresh cream, white and brown sugars, a pinch of salt, and a lot of time to create treasure-worthy being wrapped in gold, because they turned out especially well. They were named Werthers Original in honor of the little village. Now me personally, if I were Gustav, I would have called him Gustav's. Gustav's Original, not Werther's Original. The rest of the town didn't have a damn thing to do with this. They're over there stealing his shine. That's that old world mentality, right? Where it's the village is it's a community and it's a thing and stuff. Now we live in bigger cities and shit. It's man, I don't talk to, I don't talk to my neighbors. Nothing against them, but I got no interest in dealing with them. Not that they're bad people. I mean, they could be. I don't know what they do in their off time. But they're probably nice enough folks. If I saw somebody robbing their house, I'd call the cops. I'm not going to leave that shit alone. But by that same token, certain level of division. I'm not the type of person where I need people going over there and flagging me down when I'm on my way home, Like, oh, it's that guy. It's like, no, I'm not that guy. Because crafting this smooth, creamy caramel became family tradition handed down through generations. Now indulge in Werthers Original Harvest caramels, soft cream caramel, and pumpkin spice. Okay. I wonder. That's before. Well, it's in date. Oh wait, is it? No, it's not. It's like 2 days out of date. So yeah, this is just an old pack. So okay, because yeah, it's 4/30/22, and the time I'm doing this, it's 5/3/22. So yeah, it's 3 days out of date. So it should still be perfectly fine. Maybe it won't be its Werthers Originalist, but all right, let's try a thing, folks. That makes sense. Should have got a discount. I bought expired candy. It wouldn't be the first time. You'd think someone at the gas station I bought this at, though, would have been over there and been like, why do we still have something that's pumpkin spice related? It seems like that should have been gone a while ago. Werthers Original. I'm calling him Gustav's. That's what's happening. I'm giving proper credit to Mr. Gustav, because this is his business, and I don't know if the family still owns or whatever, but, you know, I'm giving it to them. Fuck Werther, the town. We're a town. We happen to have a guy who knew how to make really good candy who lived here one time. Fuck that. What have you done for me lately? Sorry to Werther the town. I got nothing against you. Let's try that. It is very soft. It's buttery. Very rich. Very, very rich. Okay. Well, I have mixed feelings on it. For one main reason. The pumpkin spice flavor. There's not that much of it. Now, here's why I have mixed feelings on it. On the one hand, I think that was the right decision, because I think if they'd used too much, could have overwhelmed the candy, and that might not have been the best tasting situation. But when you label something as pumpkin spice, you expect to get a nice hit of pumpkin spice. I don't really know that that's what happened with this. It definitely tasted different than a classic Werthers Original, but not by a whole lot. Like, I would say that the difference between this and like what I'm used to with a Werthers Original, to be fair, I haven't had a Werthers Original in probably a couple of years or so now. The difference, I'd probably put it at like maybe 5%, something like that. It's mostly just like buttery and caramelly and, you know, soft and delicious. Like, it's really good. I keep waiting for like this hit of pumpkin spice. But no. You get a little bit at the end. A little bit at the end. But it's not even like throughout the entire eating experience. Like you'd think with it being a caramel, you know, it's going to take a little time to move around your mouth and everything. I don't know if they just buried the flavor in there or whatever. But it's this very light pumpkin spice flavor at the end, to the extent where if I weren't looking for it and you didn't tell me, I would probably miss it. I mean, it is there, it is noticeable to some extent, but when you're tagging it in along with the buttery flavor and caramel flavor, those are some pretty heavy flavors to contend against, and I just don't feel like the pumpkin spice really properly comes through. It's good. It's good because it's based on a Werthers Original, and a Werthers Original is really good. It's not so good because of the pumpkin spice. Because the pumpkin spice, it is like a nice little tag in at the very end, which I can appreciate. And again, I don't think it was the wrong decision to keep it at that level of pumpkin spiciness. But again, fundamentally, you're picking up something, it's got, it says it's pumpkin spice, you're expecting some pumpkin spice flavor. I just feel like it's too limited. It's not a bad overall candy, it still tastes really good. I just don't know that it really lives up to the advertising, at least not for what I was expecting. Now maybe those 3 days were enough time for the pumpkin spice to diminish in flavor, so, take it all with an asterisk, because it is 3 days out of date. But my guess is it probably wouldn't have been that different. Now, all that said, would I recommend them? Sure, if you enjoy Werthers Originals, you will almost certainly enjoy these. Because they taste very similar. Even as a texture thing, I guess it depends if you enjoy, the hard version or the soft version. I tend to prefer the hard version, but I'm perfectly fine with the soft. Just a little bit here because, it gets stuck in your teeth and whatnot. But it still tastes really good. It's a good eating experience. So, all things considered, it tastes fine. And I don't know. I would say if you watch this review and you find some of these out somewhere around the time of the review, when the review is released, I would check the best before, because chances are it's probably going to be out of date. Now, if you get a little bit closer to Thanksgiving, Halloween, what have you, maybe they'll roll out another batch. I don't know. So, all right, well, folks, that's going to do it for me. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. You can go over there and have yourselves a truly not Werther's original rest of your life, Gustav rest of your life, because that guy went over there and he made the thing and he was all the famous, but he was like, I am so humble, I must go over there, I must include the entire village in this whole situation. Because Gustav's a cool dude like that. Final 2 things for me, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time, folks. Here's what you do. Try not to be an asshole, okay? Like Mr. Gustav. Mr. Gustav wasn't an asshole. Maybe he was outside of his candy-making ventures, but I'd like to think that he wasn't. The man made candy, and he went over there and gave a bunch of credit to a crappy town that otherwise no one would have ever known about. Just saying. But sometimes you're going to be an asshole. I know I'm an asshole. I'm sure even Mr. Gustav was an asshole sometimes, in his downtime between making famous candy and being super humility guy. Try to mitigate that. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in your life. I think that's pretty doable. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to do. Maybe you're over there. Maybe you know the Gustav family. If they're still around. Granted, that's not even their last name. Nobel. I don't know if they're around, but maybe they are. And you're over there and you're like, hey, man. I was watching this video and there was this guy. And he was over there and he was like, hey, you should go over there and call him Gustav instead of Werthers Original. And like, Gustav Nobel the 18th, he'll be over there and be like, you know what, you're right. Tired of this fucking crappy old world village hamming in on our fame. Fuck it. No more Werther's Original, Gustav's Original. Or maybe go over there and do something clean out your garage or something, if that's a thing that you want to do. Maybe you need to get around to that, like me. So maybe you're over there and you're trying to get in there a couple days ago because you got to go over there and grab something. And you're like,